Y'all, hanging out here in Chicago, visiting my family, picking up a few restaurant shifts here in the summer, the place where I used to work back in the day, making all types of tips, talking to my tables, being charismatic as I am, rizzing all of my tables. And the other day, this table was trying to get to know me more. They're like, how are you so knowledgeable about the menu? Even though we haven't seen you before. We're regulars, we're here all the time, but it seems like you know what's going on here at this place. And I tried my best to avoid the Japan thing, because then it always gets into this long, drawn out conversation, and they start asking me to say things in Japanese, konnichiwa and all this stuff. But anyways, I was like, yeah, I worked here before, and then I moved away, and now I'm back just picking up some shifts at the moment. And anyways, long story short, they kept asking me questions, and I got into, okay, I live in Japan. And then they were like, oh my gosh, do you speak Japanese? And I was like, well, yeah, you know what, yeah. For the longest time, you know what, I've said this before, when I first moved to Japan, people would ask me if I speak Japanese, and I would say yes, even though I could only say a few things. But I thought, I was pretty proud of what I could do. And then I said no after that, because I realized how much I had to learn, and I was like, I don't, I'm just studying. And now I'd say, I'm 3 or 4 years into my studies of Japanese, and I would say I'm comfortable enough to say, yeah, you know what, I do speak Japanese. So I told these people I spoke Japanese, and this guy goes, no shit. And he was like, hey, are you a college student? Have you graduated college? And I was like, yeah, I'm actually in college right now. I study international business. And he was like, no way, do you know anything about accounting? And I was like, not really. I mean, I've taken some accounting classes, but I wouldn't say I know about accounting. And anyways, he was like, I work for this company. This is one of the biggest accounting firms in the US. We do a lot of work with Japanese people, and we're desperate for foreign workers, American workers, English speakers who also understand Japanese culture, and more importantly, can speak the Japanese language, because whenever we work with Japan, there's a lot of language barriers, and we can't speak Japanese. And he's like, I've done my best, I've learned konnichiwa, o genki desu ka, etc., but I can't actually speak with a lot of these people when we work with Japan. And I was like, oh shit, well, sorry, I can't help you, I'm not an accountant. And he was like, man, I would have taken your number right now, and I would have offered you a job if you told me that you majored in accounting and also speak Japanese. And anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. I have no interest in doing that anyways, but I thought it was pretty cool, because sometimes I kind of feel like, I don't know how practical my Japanese skills are for the business world, for a professional career, outside of just making friends and continuing to have these relationships with my Japanese friends, or whatever it be, just having friends. I've always kind of thought, like, I don't know if I can actually use my Japanese language in my professional career in business or anything like that, even though people kind of say you can here and there. And then that was just a really good motivator to make me feel like, okay, shit, this really is worth something more. Not that it isn't enough just to have friends who can speak Japanese and be comfortable living in Japan and be able to do whatever the fuck I want in Japan, because I can speak the language and I can get around and I can make reservations at restaurants. I can read the menu at restaurants. I can go to different places. I can talk to apartment contractors, whatever it be. Also, I can use my Japanese in the business world, I'm finding out now. And it kind of reminded me of this conversation that I had with one of my friends recently, who was telling me that he's thinking about going to language school in Japan. As guys know, I learned most of my Japanese through Japanese language school in Japan. Full-time language school. This means 5 hours a day, 4 hours, 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. I'm studying Japanese language every single day for 2 years straight. Not every single day, okay? Not on the weekends, but reminded me of this conversation that I had with one of my friends, drinking my 7-Eleven protein shake here, Rebuild. Guys, it's not bad. Right now, if anyone happens to care, I'm on my way to the gym. I ride my bike to the gym in the morning, pack all my work clothes and everything in my backpack. I don't know if you can see there. Then I go to the gym, I work out, do my cardio, all of that, change, shower, put my sweaty clothes in a plastic bag in my backpack, and then I take an Uber from the gym to work. And then I Uber back from work to the gym, and then I ride my bike back home. It's not too far to the gym from my house. It's like 20 minutes on the bike. But work, I was doing that last year, and it was like an hour and 10 minutes each way. It was terrible, riding my bike. Anyways, getting back to the point here, my friend was saying he's gonna go to Japanese language school, and he's like, I wanna find like a really, really casual language school. Like, I don't wanna find one where I'm gonna be doing homework. I don't blame you for the homework thing, but he was like, I don't wanna find one where I'm going to have to be in school all the time, where it's going to be very rigorous, because I'm not super interested in learning the language. I'm more just kind of want to like hang out in Japan for a little bit, and he wants to find one where like it wouldn't matter if he skipped some classes here and there. And at the time, obviously, I mean, I'm not here to tell people how to live their lives. You guys know me, I'm not about like telling people you should do this, you should do that all the time. I'm more about like, hey man, let people be however they want to be, and I'm going to do me. If you guys want to follow what I'm doing. If you guys want to take some of my advice here and there, yeah, take it, but I'm not going to tell you exactly how you should live your life. Anyways, this friend was saying, like, yeah, I want to go out to Japan. I want to spend like maybe 2 years in language school. I don't really care about learning the language. I'm just using it for the visa. And even I have said that in videos before. Like, if you just want a visa, like language school, if you have the money, would be a relatively easy way. But I've been thinking about it more and more lately, and it's just like, it's just really such a waste, dude. Like, you know, like every day when I'm in Japan and I'm speaking Japanese, I'm meeting foreigners, not like white foreigners, like I'm meeting people from like Asia, India, Vietnam, China all the time, and they speak like pretty poor Japanese, but they do speak Japanese a little bit. You know, whatever, I go to the grocery store, I'm at a restaurant, whatever it be, I strike up a conversation with somebody. And whenever they say, like, how did you learn Japanese so fast? Like, you've only been here for 3 years and you speak really good Japanese, but I've been here for 10, 20 years and I just speak like a little bit or whatever. And then I always tell them, well, I went to language school, and they're like, oh, so lucky. I wish I had that opportunity. I wish I had the money to do that. And all these people are saying, like you're just so blessed that you have that money. And yeah, for sure, I do feel blessed that I'm from a relatively wealthy country, and I was able to live at home for a while and save the money to pay my way through language school on my own. And if, like, for me, it kind of feels like such a waste for someone to go to a language school for multiple years. There are all these other people in the country, not that like you should care, oh, just because these people didn't have the opportunity, that means I need to do it. But it does kind of make you think sometimes, like, all these people would kill to actually go to language school and properly learn Japanese from professional teachers. And you have the opportunity and you're not taking advantage of it. And then for me as well, when I went to language school for the first semester, only the first semester, I remember kind of thinking like, dude, I don't know how long I'm gonna stay here. I'm kind of just here to like have fun, see the world, like kind of find myself or whatever. I do want to learn the language, but like I'm more so trying to experience life, just get a different worldview and shit. And for the first semester, first like 3 months of my language school, I remember I took it seriously, but I didn't do all of my homework. I didn't really study before tests and shit like that. And then I was like, had one of like the lower grades in the class after the first semester, and I kind of felt dumb after that. And then I started studying a little bit more, and I realized how much it benefited me in my real life every single day that I was living in Japan. I was like, okay, I actually paid attention today. And the stuff that I actually paid attention on, I took notes. And then on the train when I left school, I studied my notes on that shit. And then this shit's actually sticking in my head. And now I can use it in real life, in real time, and see how much it improves my real life. Like, say one day I go to the Kuyakusho, the city hall, and I didn't pay attention in class, I didn't learn anything, and then I go there and I need to apply for national health insurance, and they're speaking to me all in Japanese. Like, nobody speaks English at like the government facilities there, usually. They're speaking all to me in Japanese, and I was like, shit, this is so uncomfortable. Nobody knows how to fucking talk to me. I don't know how to talk to anybody. It made the whole experience last like twice as long as it should have. There are people in line angry at me because I don't speak Japanese. This is so uncomfortable. And then I go back to school, and then I'm like, shit, I need to take this more seriously. Next day in school, I learn a couple different words that I need to know maybe at the Kuyakusho. I actually study them. I actually take notes. On the train, I study them. Next time I need to go to the Kuyakusho, the city hall, everything goes smoothly. And I'm in and out just like that. Nobody's pissed at me. None of the Japanese people, probably none of the Japanese people are becoming more racist that day when they see a foreigner, and then they see me and they're like, oh, this motherfucker probably doesn't speak Japanese. And I speak good Japanese, and then they're like, oh shit, okay, hey, this guy, hey, all right, maybe foreigners aren't so bad, maybe this guy's all right. And then, hey, and it improves everybody's life. It improves your life, it improves their lives. You're more wanted in Japan. Well, not necessarily saying that you are wanted, but maybe less unwanted. And once I started seeing that real benefit every single day, I started realizing how much I should be taking advantage of the language school experience that I have. And so this video isn't about telling people like, you should do this, you should do that, you're stupid if you don't take advantage of your language school. You guys can do whatever you want. Maybe you guys don't plan to live in Japan for a long time. Maybe you have no interest in actually joining the Japanese community, being part of Japanese society. You just want to go there, have fun a little bit, and maybe have your fucking foreign friends and go out to Torikizoku and drink strong zeros every day, like fucking whatever. Like, I'm not saying that you're evil or bad for doing that. People are, hey, different strokes for different folks, man. But I do want to remind people how much of a benefit it can be to learn a foreign language, exercising your brain, becoming more comfortable in a country that you're going to be visiting. Maybe you're going to be living there. Maybe you're one of those guys who is desperate to meet a Japanese girl. And then, guys, guess what? If you don't speak Japanese, there's like a 99% chance that her parents don't want anything to do with you. But if you can speak Japanese, that's gonna make that a little bit easier, that transition into joining families with a person of Japanese descent. Additionally, like I said, you never know when this shit might help you in the business world, might help you in your career. There's so many benefits of actually studying the language, taking it seriously, whatever language it be, man. If you're gonna go live in a different country, learn the language, take advantage of it. And it's one of those things that I've said this so many times on my channel. So many people are like, well, the Japanese language is really hard. Even though I'm gonna live in Japan, I can still like kind of live here and not speak any Japanese, and it would take so much dedication to learn the language. So I'm not gonna waste my time trying to learn that shit. I'm just gonna be like kind of uncomfortable for like the rest of my life when I live here. And dude, like I said, man, I've even 1.5 years into living in Japan, studying Japanese at a high pace, I got to the point where I was like pretty comfortable going wherever I wanted to, going to the Kyokusho, going to the doctor, going to the barber, doing whatever, making Japanese friends, talking to people. After like 1.5 years of studying hard, I know that 1.5 years sucks, but it's just that you sit down, you lock in, you grind for a short time period, and then the rest of your life is easier. So like, which one would you choose? Yeah, guys, if you are in Japanese language school, you can obviously do whatever you want, but I would recommend taking advantage of it. And hey man, maybe life's all fun and games for you, and that's great, but I just don't see it like that. For me, life ain't all about just fucking around all the time. For me, what gets me going, like I said, different strokes for different folks, but for me, what gets me going is improving myself, learning skills, accomplishing things. That's what makes me feel good. So that's how I am. I feel like if I would have gone to language school for 2 years and been like, how many classes can I skip this week without getting my visa taken away? How low of a grade can I get without getting in trouble? Like, I would have looked back at that right now and been like, wow, what a fucking idiot I was. I'm so thankful that I took advantage of the time that I spent in Japanese language school. I'm so then again, I even say thankful because I'm the one that put in the work. Like, anyways, I don't know, getting on a long, weird rant now. But anyways, this is Young James, guys. I'm here in Chicago, heading back to Japan next week. Can't wait. Thanks for watching, y'all. Check out the Discord. Check out the description. If you guys want to donate to my Ko-fi, send $5. You can join my Discord. It'll send you a little link to the Discord there. Otherwise, peace out. Hit me up. All right.